it's going.
Okay. Last week we talked about David killing Goliath. After David killed Goliath, he didn't go back home to his dad's house anymore. He went and stayed with Saul at, I assume he had their equivalent of a palace, and at least a large house. But he went to stay with Saul and worked as a general in the army. He also, every day, would play his harp. And anytime Saul had the evil spirit come on him, that came on him sometimes, David would play to soothe Saul. During this time, David met Saul's son, Jonathan. I assume he actually met all of Saul's children. But he and Jonathan especially became very good friends. They were absolute best friends. Jonathan understood that he would never inherit his father's throne. He knew God had anointed David, and he was cool with it. He had no problem with David being the next king. Also during this time, as part of the rewards for killing Goliath, whoever killed him was supposed to get to marry Saul's oldest daughter. Well, David refused. He said, "I'm a little shepherd boy. I don't deserve to marry the king's daughter." And so she married someone else. But then Saul realized that his daughter, his second daughter, Michal, loved David. And Saul had been watching, and he listened when they came home from battle and the women were dancing in the streets, singing what a great victory they had. They would sing, "Saul has killed thousands and David killed his tens of thousands." Now it probably rhymed best like that in Hebrew, but it upset Saul. Saul also realized David was going to be the next king. And he wasn't cool with it. He was upset. When these bad moods would come on him, he would get mad. And a couple times he actually threw a spear and tried to kill David. David was able to get out of the way. When Saul realized Michal was in love with David, he said, "I know what I'm going to do." He spoke to his people in his court. He said, "I want David to marry my daughter." So they went and they talked to David. It reminds me of junior high school. You can't talk directly to the person, you've got to...
Yeah.
They went to David and said, "Hey, the king wants you to marry his daughter Michal." And David said, "I'm still just a little shepherd boy. I still can't marry the king's daughter." Saul told they went back and told Saul. Saul told his friends, "You know what I want for a dowry? I don't want my daughter to necessarily marry a rich man. I want proof of her future husband killing 100 Philistines." Well, the friend, because he's thinking, if David goes and he tries to kill 100 Philistines, they'll kill him and he'll die. And then I won't have to kill him because I'm bad aim with my spear, evidently. So the friends went and told David, "You know what, all the king..."
He's a fast person.
Maybe. "All the king wants is proof that you've killed 100 Philistines." And David said, "Oh, well, is that all? No problem." He went out and he killed 200 Philistines and brought proof to the king that he had done it. Saul said, "What can I do?" He married his daughter to David. So now David is son-in-law to the king. He's best friends with the king's son, and the king is trying to kill him, and we're going to sing a song.
Dude, you need a better anything.
Better king. Well, he'll be a better king. So, when the saints go marching in, oh, when the saints go marching in, oh Lord, I want to be in that number. When the saints go marching in, oh, when the saints go marching in, oh, when the saints trains go marching in.
You know, there's